I'm very excited about where Target sits as we think about the next 5 years and how we build on the momentum that we built in our business.
A raging storm has hit the celebrity business world, and the target of the controversy is none other than Blake Lively. Allegedly, her beloved beauty care line has been outright banned by Target's CEO. Yes, a total corporate lockdown. 2. Make it even more explosive, Justin Baldoni's lawyer just dropped a bombshell lawsuit update, and that one move seems to have set off a chain reaction nobody expected.
The conclusion here, I have said this since before, long before this ever broke out between her and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person.
There are text messages that refute every single thing in that complaint.
On Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie, It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. And was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it.
The New York Times apparently reviewed 1,000 or more pages of text messages. They would have seen it. Justin never wanted to hurt her, never wanted to be negative to her. And it's all over the place.
This shocking twist has quickly become the talk of every high-level boardroom and every household's gossip circles. It's raw, it's heated, and it's pulling some of Hollywood's most powerful into a swirling fiasco that threatens to rewrite how we view celebrity-driven brands. But how did we get here? And why is the Target CEO being so severe towards such a massively popular beauty line?
I know for a fact that the mainstream media will lie and they will smear on behalf of their powerful friend. I believe in due process, which is why I always read the facts of the case before accepting the media narrative.
They shared those together. They concocted a complaint that they filed with the Civil Rights Division. They omitted texts that would have provided context.
They were plotting with the New York Times for months to smear him, and there may be some important evidence. Well, she filed a civil rights complaint in Los Angeles, and then within 24 hours, the New York Times had the scoop. They published the complaint in its entirety, and it looked suspicious.
Let's dive in, dissect every detail, and see how both sides plan to fight their way out of this blazing scandal. Because once Baldoni's attorney came smashing through with those revelations, it lit a fuse that's not going out anytime soon. It all started with scattered rumors drifting through the underbelly of...
So in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, he accuses Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively of colluding with the New York Times. Do you guys remember what the article was actually entitled that they actually released on 12/21? We can bury anyone inside a Hollywood smear machine. But they believed her narrative instantly because the allegations were so strong. And I just kind of held fire because I don't trust the New York Times to save my life.
Shitty product with atrocious marketing. You have yourself a disastrous brand that will go out of business.
Another bombshell, and this time it is pertaining to the New York Times. Amazing that you're not going to believe this, okay? It looks like Justin Baldoni may have a very strong case against the New York Times.
Hollywood whispers that Blake Lively was locked in tense negotiations with major retailers. People close to the matter said this wasn't your average contract renegotiation. It was laced with suspicion, a dash of personal score settling, and more than a few strategic power plays. Lively's brand had soared to new heights.
If you look at that URL, look at the date on that, 12/16/2000.
Frustrated customers are not only offloading these subpar products, but are also flooding social media with viral outcries demanding accountability. Blake's beauty brand is so bad they are donating her products to Goodwill.
You did not know both of their lawsuits have been consolidated into one legal showdown instead of these two separate lawsuits.
At the Reynolds penthouse in Manhattan, where Ryan Reynolds allegedly bullied Justin so badly that a Sony representative, and her biggest takeaway was, it was so nasty.
Winning over fans with ethically sourced products and a down-to-earth vibe that was the exact reflection of her squeaky clean public image. Then, out of the blue, Target abruptly pulled her entire product line off shelves. Shoppers started noticing empty spots in the beauty aisles, and the brand's loyal fans were outraged. The official reason remained hidden.
Hey Lily, you want to do the honors?
No, you go ahead. I need to take it in from here.
And used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued.
There's just so much more to this story, and the media's already like self-flagellating. Oh, we were too mean to Blake. And now you see text messages from Blake Lively comparing herself. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift.
The kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, documents, which prove exactly what she did to take over the movie.
Buried behind corporate statements about business priorities. But behind the scenes, a scalding rumor erupted that the Target CEO was furious about a private deal involving Justin Baldoni's camp. When that rumor broke wide open, everyone demanded to know how Baldoni was connected to all this. Turns out, there was more than a casual link. His lawyer had apparently been building a case for months, and once that lawsuit was ready, it was rumored to involve shocking allegations about top-level retailer conduct. Was Blake Lively caught in the crossfire, or was she the entire reason this corporate giant felt threatened? People were stunned, not least because Lively had never publicly aligned with anything scandalous. Her brand was squeaky clean, so how did she end up at the center of this firestorm? Fans started piecing together small clues, references to hush-hush meetings, old photos of Lively and Baldoni together with big smiles, and cryptic social media posts hinting at big changes in the pipeline. Yet no one could have predicted the scale of Target's reaction. Sides were being taken, and every influencer and insider had an opinion. Some claimed the brand ban was too harsh, an overreaction fueled by the CEO's personal vendetta. Others suspected Lively had her own cards to play, ones that might cause Target to quake under the legal threats from Baldoni's side. But that wasn't the whole story. The Target CEO is known to be assertive, no stranger to controversy. In the past, he's made sweeping decisions that had onlookers fuming, from abruptly dropping entire product lines to slashing philanthropic partnerships if they didn't align with the company's strategic image. This time, though, his actions felt way more personal. Observers questioned whether there was some behind-the-scenes meltdown or lingering tension that pushed him over the edge. According to insiders, the CEO had been on a warpath over so-called brand integrity. Word leaked that he felt betrayed by certain celebrities who leveraged the retailer for a rapid expansion, only to pivot toward other big deals once their popularity soared. Could that be the real crux of the tension with Blake Lively? Perhaps he believed she was shopping her brand around to higher bidders and ignoring the terms that made their partnership work. Meanwhile, employees reported hushed conversations in executive suites, the air thick with worry over any possible lawsuit blowback. Justin Baldoni's lawyer was rumored to have gathered a treasure trove of damning details. Some said it might even include allegations about how the retailer handles contractual obligations with celebrities. Naturally, many wondered if this could blow open a scandal that would overshadow mere product disagreements. Then came the speculation that the CEO's ban on Lively's line was meant as a preemptive strike. If he suspected there was a lawsuit cooking that involved Lively's brand deals, banning her products might have been a way to gain leverage. Or maybe it was a direct punishment, a warning shot to any star who dares to cross certain invisible lines. People close to Lively, however, claim she's done nothing improper. They maintain this came out of nowhere, and that she's being used as a high-profile scapegoat in a bigger corporate drama. And what happened next would shock everyone. Blake. Lively doesn't strike people as the type to just stand back and watch her achievements go up in smoke. True to her grounded yet fiery spirit, she reportedly initiated her own legal and PR countermeasures. Sources said she was livid when she heard about the secret negotiations to keep her brand off shelves. She'd worked tirelessly to build a loyal customer base, and fans have been praising her for bringing authenticity and honesty to an industry often criticized for shallow marketing. The ban threatened not just her bottom line, but her reputation as well. After all, a product pulled from one of the biggest retailers in the nation can raise eyebrows, even if she's the victim. While the official statement from her team remained calm, something along the lines of, "We respect Target's decision and are assessing our options." Rumor has it that, behind the scenes, Blake was rallying heavyweight friends and legal experts. Friends of the star revealed that the actress was determined to fight back, but not with cheap shots or petty accusations. Instead, she planned to prove her brand's worth through a robust campaign highlighting its philanthropic partnerships and community initiatives. Yet, at the same time, she wasn't about to let the Target CEO's decision stand as some irreversible decree. If he thought banning her products would be the end of it, he might be in for a rude awakening, because the lawsuit update from Baldoni's lawyer had just landed on everyone's desk, fueling speculation that Lively might align her legal stance with Baldoni. People started talking about joint strategies, or at least a sharing of damaging information that could blow Target's corporate secrets into public view. The synergy between Lively's push for brand justice and Baldoni's rumored plan to highlight questionable corporate tactics formed an unstoppable wave of tension. But then again, was it all orchestrated from the start? Some cynics posited that Lively knew exactly how to weaponize Baldoni's lawsuit for her own interests. Others insisted she was blindsided and only discovered these new legal angles after the fact. Whatever the truth, the brand ban was about to collide head-on with a determined celebrity force. Yet that was barely scratching the surface. Justin Baldoni's lawyer stepped onto the stage with a bombshell strategy that nobody saw coming. The man behind the paperwork is rumored to have a reputation for being fearless, willing to take on behemoth corporations, calling them out for questionable practices, and forcing them to cough up huge settlements. If there was even a shred of malpractice on the retailer's side, this lawyer was presumably the one who could sniff it out. Rumors claim that part of the lawsuit detailed how certain celebrity brands were favored while others were sidestepped, based on ever-shifting personal judgments from top executives. This set tongues wagging about possible discrimination, or at least partiality, that could form the legal bedrock of a massive scandal. If proven, the consequences for Target's brand image could be devastating, especially in an era where public opinion can sway overnight. So how does Blake Lively fit into this legal puzzle? The underlying theory is that Lively's brand might serve as proof of the retailer's inconsistency in how it handles big-name collaborations. The lawyer's approach seemed to revolve around a storyline in which the retailer regularly entices celebrity entrepreneurs with sweet deals, but systematically pulls the plug if they step out of line, like if they negotiate with a direct competitor or question contractual terms. And if that's the direction of the lawsuit, it paints Lively not just as a casualty, but as Exhibit A, showing that the retailer's heavy-handed retaliation is real. The specifics remain under wraps, but one thing is certain. The lawsuit came at the worst possible time for the CEO. He was already grappling with a dip in public favor over some earlier controversies, and with Lively's unstoppable fanbase, that negative wave was only going to accelerate. But even that was just the tip of the iceberg. The rumor mill went wild over who else might be pulled into this fiasco. Almost overnight, other high-profile celebrities were named, from those who once collaborated with the retailer to superstars rumored to be next in line for an exclusive product deal. A-listers like Taylor Swift, Beyoncé, or even Ryan Reynolds were whispered about in certain circles, though no confirmed statements emerged. It wasn't just about corporate deals, though. Social media lit up with fans and critics alike. Some demanded that Target reverse its ban on Blake Lively's line immediately, saying they'd boycott the retailer if it refused. Others insisted Lively should have known better than to get mixed up with a questionable brand arrangement in the first place. The discussion became a battleground, with one side championing Lively as a creative visionary who was wronged, while the other side insisted that big business deals always come with risk. Meanwhile, Lively's allies, a blend of close friends, brand ambassadors, and high-profile supporters, launched a subtle online campaign to keep her products relevant. Hashtags promoting her beauty line surfaced, and influencers gushed about the formula's quality, the brand's philanthropic endeavors, and Lively's personal touch. It was a wave of public goodwill that overshadowed the negative chatter. Now, imagine the tension behind closed doors at Target's headquarters. Every day, new voices demanded explanations. Shareholders, executive boards, store managers, everyone wanted to know if these lawsuits and bans were going to hurt the company's bottom line. The CEO, known for his unstoppable confidence, might have found himself cornered by a problem that PR spin alone couldn't fix. But the full scope of chaos was still unraveling. As the legal gears turned, the entire narrative became less about beauty products and more about corporate ethics, power plays, and personal vendettas. Some business analysts speculated that the Target CEO was sending a chilling message to any celebrity who crosses him. Others believed it was a matter of convenience, that Lively and Baldoni's rumored alliance represented a threat so big he felt compelled to strike first. Stories emerged that the CEO had previously faced intense legal run-ins over product liability in smaller brand partnerships. Though hush money might have quietly resolved those issues, it left behind a pattern. Each time he sensed a legal ambush, he'd take abrupt action to show he wouldn't be strong-armed. If the rumor holds true, Lively's ban could be consistent with that pattern, designed to prove that nobody is untouchable, even a beloved Hollywood actress with legions of fans. Still, there's another angle. Maybe the CEO genuinely believes Lively's brand was stepping out of bounds by negotiating parallel deals and harming the exclusivity Target once enjoyed. If that's the case, in his eyes, banning her line was not only justified, but necessary. The real question is whether these behind-the-scenes negotiations truly existed, or if this entire ordeal rests on fabricated suspicions, a swirl of internal. Memos alleged to have been leaked hinted that several mid-level executives disagreed with the CEO's approach, worrying it would lead to massive backlash. Some staff even considered resigning in protest, pointing to the brand's significance in driving store traffic, especially among younger demographics. Still, within the halls of corporate power, the CEO's word is law, at least until a lawsuit proves otherwise. And that's when the next chapter began. Just as speculation reached a fever pitch, Baldoni's lawyer took another bold step, allegedly sending a letter to Target's legal team, demanding immediate clarifications and threatening to expose any wrongdoing in excruciating detail. The text of this letter, though unofficially leaked, set social media ablaze with talk of a possible trial, depositions, and public testimonies that might drag in heavy hitters from both sides. This development was said to leave the CEO visibly rattled. Sure, he'd weathered storms before, but rarely did they involve someone with the public goodwill of Blake Lively, let alone the potent legal acumen of Baldoni's attorney. At this point, any behind-the-scenes settlement might come at a huge cost, both financially and reputationally. Blake Lively's brand, on the other hand, showed signs of thriving in the online market. Fans were flocking to buy her products through e-commerce platforms. Influencers on TikTok and Instagram posted rapid-fire reviews praising the brand, overshadowing the negativity from the ban. Some even believed that being banned from Target ironically gave the line a renegade allure, attracting curious shoppers who wanted to see why it was so dangerous that a megastore had to block it. But beneath the triumphs lay a deep uncertainty. If the lawsuit moves forward, depositions could force Lively, Baldoni, and possibly the CEO to testify under oath. That scenario would likely rip open any hidden truths and paint an unfiltered picture of how these big deals really go down. And once the public glimpses that raw side of celebrity commerce, the blowback might be impossible to contain. The only question left: would either party be wise enough to broker peace before it became a total meltdown, or was the window for that kind of resolution already slammed shut? Now brace yourself for the final showdown. So where does this leave everyone? Blake Lively is pressing onward, her passion for clean, authentic beauty products burning brighter despite the stinging ban. Target's CEO is dug in, defending the decision as if it's a line in the sand he refuses to cross back over. And Justin Baldoni's lawyer continues to circle, dropping updates that can jolt the entire conversation. If this drama has proven anything, it's that the powerful and famous are never immune to explosive conflicts, and that behind every shiny product launch, there just might be a battlefield of legal threats and personal grudge matches. Whether you side with Blake or stand by the retailer, one thing's clear: the stakes keep climbing with every twist. Now everyone is left wondering who will blink first, or if it will all spiral into a massive corporate and legal spectacle that redefines the rules of celebrity brand deals forever. Because in a game where reputations, fortunes, and pride are on the line, walking away unscathed might not be an option for anyone involved.